This week we are on implementation session. And so this can be very different to all the other sessions. In the previous 12, 13, 14 weeks, my mission was to just cram your brain with as much understanding of the lay of land, all of the different things that we can do, right? And the pros and cons to that are, of course, one, your brain now has this whole network of things like, oh, you have ideas, the seeds are being planted. And what actually comes from here is that we can start honing in on actually implementing. And this is where the real value lies. I think part of the approach prior to this could have been overwhelming. Now, here's where it gets real, because now you have the insight about what's possible. We can actually start making it real for you. Now, since we've got an intimate group today, hopefully we can start building something for each of you, or we can come up with ideas and thoughts on how to build it. So really how today is going to work, a little bit different to normal. Live hands-on is going to depend on what you bring and what you share. And I've seen some of you have made posts in the community already. So I've got some ideas on some things that you want to do, and then the rest will roll up our sleeves and jump in. Now, because it's a live demonstration, as with live demonstrations, some of this will work and some of it might wobble, but that's okay. That's the point, because that's what you're going to have in reality anyway. These things don't always go as planned. But yeah, we're going to work on your real problems. And I just want to make the point here as well, like we don't, it doesn't all need to be perfect to start, right? You don't need everything in, all in one place, all organized. We just going to start with what we've got, where we have. I know some people are thinking, hey, I've got to get the CRM in place, or get that in place. Well, actually, no, there's things that we can do, things that we can make happen prior to that. So we don't want to hold things up. There's things we can get moving before we go that deep as well. And what we're going to focus in on is picking one task that each week, one task that slows you or your team down, one thing that holds you up. And that's the lowest hanging fruit. We're going to knock that one over just so it makes your life easier and you get some quick wins. Now, the real skill in all of this isn't the tool. There's so many tools. You can see there's like, I know, 50,000 AI tools plus another 150,000 custom GPTs, a couple of 100,000 tools. It's not about the tool. It's really about the thinking pattern, right? AI is not going to replace your thinking. It's just going to execute it, right? One of the AI tools I've got set up that we'll be leveraging today, I've called it Doer, right? Because it's doing things for me, right? And Doer, like there was an acronym there when I started up. I can't remember what it was, like digital operations executive resource or something like that, but it's a doer. It's just going to get stuff done, and it can't do the thinking. Like, we're going to bring the thinking, we're going to bring the ideas, concept. You've got unique idea IP approaches that you're going to do wonders with AI that other people won't be able to do, because just your knowledge, your experience. And that's what I want to be able to help AI magnify for you. Now, here's the important thing on these things that we're going to set up with AI. If we can brief a new team member, we can brief AI, right? If we can define, hey, here's what you need to do step by step, then AI is going to lap that up, is going to love it. Okay. Now, before we start working with these tools, there's really three things that you always want to think about. If we're going to build something, if we're going to implement something, question number one is like, what's my outcome? What do I actually want this thing to do? Right? I want it to write an article for me. I want it to post something directly to social media. I want it to give me a daily rundown of my priorities and my calendar. I want it to create a proposal. I want it to write a blog. I want it to, so something very clear, what is the outcome? Okay. Some examples from, last few days with clients. We've got one who wanted a dashboard for their business. Their current financial system, they got many different things. It's not all pulled together. They can't see it. So actually the thing that makes a difference for them is we used AI to pull together a live dashboard. It taps into all of the different systems. Now, not only can they see things in real time, they can also see where the gaps are. They can see where the gaps are in conversion. They can see where the gaps are in retention. So immediately the opportunity falls out of something like that. So the outcome was, hey, I want a dashboard where I can see everything. Another outcome, I've got a client, she's an accountant, but one of her clients runs, like in the US, a big business where people bring their wild game and butchery. And the problem they had is the clients would want to work out how they wanted this lamb or this cow cut up. So they would need one, to know how to price that and charge them. They'd also need to be able to communicate that clearly with the butcher, what they need to do. They need to get all of that complexity into the financial system, so it produced invoices and payments. And of course, before that was paper and manual. And now, because we were very clear on the outcome, here's what we want, we've been able to build a tool that works in two ways. One, the customer can use it, they submit it, and butcher, accountant gets what they need. Or two, the staff can log in and do it, and then they can immediately see as well. So we want to get very clear, what is the outcome? If we can define the outcome, most things we can build. The one exception I'm going to get you to think about on this is sometimes it doesn't make sense to build. Sometimes it's easier to buy an existing program or subscription, because if you're going to pay $20, $30 a month for the existing thing, why build it and maintain it? So we're also going to look at, hey, do I build this? Do I actually just buy something? I had an example this week. Someone wanted to build something that allowed clients to sign things. It's like, well, we could do that, or you can pay your whatever it was, $10, $20 a month to a Panda doc or whatever the equivalent is, right? That may not be a great example, but that's the kind of use case you want to think about. Or this week I was talking about helping clients with coaching calls, and it came up with a suggestion to build something like Cluely. Cluely costs $20 a month. They've had a lot of people working on that, spent millions of dollars on building it. Why am I going to spend the effort to build that? I can just pay my $20 a month and off we go. So we want to know the outcome. We want to make sure it makes sense. Number two, the important thing with all of this is inputs. What are we going to put into it? Like I use the example just now of the dashboard. So I can ask it for a dashboard, but really for it to build this dashboard live, it needs to be able to connect into the payment gateway where they're taking all the bookings, where that has the data. It needs to connect into Xero, where it has, the overheads and expenses. Probably needs to connect into their marketing system, so we can see ads in ROI and those things as well. So what are the inputs? Sometimes the inputs, I want you to think about two things here. Some of these inputs are static. You'll give it to them once, right? It's, this is my brand voice, and it keeps it, it uses it forever, right? And some of it's going to be dynamic. And we discussed before, like API. So, where it links into the system. We don't need to worry about the terms. API is just where it goes and gets the information. If we can think about the inputs, I get excited when I know we want to build something and I know there's an API. This is where AI really excels, because it can go and it can get that data. It can deal with the complexity of data that you and I, it would be hard for us to do, too much volume, too hard to imagine, and it will pull it in. It will pull it in quickly. It will update frequently. So we want to think about the inputs. And then finally, the other bit we want to do is think about the steps. If we can train the model on, hey, here's the outcome I want. Here's the inputs, the data I want to give you, and here's the steps. Here's the step you go through. Now, the steps will be really important, because if you think about the steps on this, we like with an opt-in sequence, we want to make sure we don't get someone to come get all the value from the quiz or the tool and then ask them for the opt-in, because like, hey, they've already got the value. Why would they give you the email? Why would they give you their email address? So we also got to make sure, like, steps. Hey, they do this bit and then they fill in the quiz, and then before they get the answer, they give us their email address to get the answer. Right. So we've got to think about, hey, what are the steps in the process here? If we think about everything from those things, what's the outcome? What's the inputs? What's the steps? You're gonna absolutely fly. So let's jump into this then. So let's work out what is the opportunity. What are we going to build today? We're going to work on some things for you today. So I'd like you to have a think and type in the chat box. What's something that eats your time each week? Or your team, something that eats your time, something that you do repetitively again and again. In the chat box, then let's hear, what is something that eats your week? What do you spend a lot of time doing? Let's get this chat up here and let's see. So email management, yes. Diary management, yes. Responding to inquiries, plants and material availability. Yeah, great. Okay. These are things that we can start to automate and put into systems. If your system, Brooke, currently has live inventory, we could actually have that, we can have replies going out on that. That's fine. Writing content for EDMs, Kim, 100%. That's something we can get automated. Social media eats my week. Yes, we can get some specific social media things off of your plate as well. Oops, just noticed a few more people in the waiting room. I didn't see those before. Just talking about today is a little bit different to normal. We are rolling up our sleeves and doing some implementation. And in order to do that, I said this may be a bumpy ride with live demos, live implementation. Sometimes these things work perfectly. Sometimes there are wobbles. So we're going to roll the dice and see what happens. In order to work out what we're going to talk about, what we're going to build today, what we're going through is just, what is your current opportunity here? So the first question we're asking is, what eats your time each week? And so, yeah, I'd love to hear in the chat box, what eats your time each week? What do you spend time on? Now, for those of you who've already answered that question, you can begin to move on to question number 2 as well. What's done worse than you would like? Maybe there's something that's happening in your business and you think, oh, I'd love to improve that, right? I was thinking about that with someone. We helped build a proposal document for this week. the proposal was going out. It took ages. It was slow, and it wasn't the format, the standard that they wanted. So yeah, what's worse than you'd like right now? But I've seen a lot of content for a website, emails, tenders, socials. Great tenders. I think we can definitely work on. Particularly, we spoke before about the process. If you've got a clear process of what goes into a tender, you've got some examples of what you've got. We can do that. Tracking client prospect interactions, 3D images of our products. Kim, I think we will be able to figure that one out as well, particularly if we've got good 2D images of them. Yeah, content for socials. Yeah, okay, content for socials is coming a little bit here. What never gets done that you wished that it did? So what never gets done that you wish that it did? Because this could be another great use case for AI. Yeah, okay, for product categories. Hey, Kim, I think that's a great idea. Kim, do you have some examples, or some data of which landing pages that you want, what you'd want on those? That might be a good one to show how we can quickly do that. And if you could put in your website URL, that would be great. Yeah, follow-ups, yes, in time. Yeah, that's important. Quotes and proposals, we can definitely do. And Brooke, and maybe that's one we'll pick on. We might pick on a bit of quotes because I think there's a few of you got quotes and proposals. Nathaniel said tenders as well. And then website updates. Yeah, website updates can be pretty powerful as well. And so maybe we do a landing page as well. Hey, so I think we've got some really great examples here. So let's see, Sonia, creating FAQs for each page on my website, but it's a searching or finding the FAQs that are totally dialed into what my target audience searches for. Yeah, okay, so if you can do the research and we know what needs to go in there, then we can do that. So we can pick specific things. So yeah, okay, website updates. Do you have a current template that you use? Because if you do, we can begin to use that. We're talking about inputs. So we said there's three things we want then. We want like, what is the outcome we want here? So we want a quote and proposal template. What are the inputs? Now, what we need to do is train it with your brand voice. We can give it the website. We can train it with existing templates and proposals. We can do that. And Kim, I think on your side as well. So building landing pages for product categories. If you've got one product, on that, I think we can just roll up our sleeves and do that one pretty quickly as well. You need to be a wholesale member to get into our site. Yeah, okay. If you can't share it, that's okay. We could do a demo one. We could do an example one. So if you've got something that you can give us as an example, we could just make one up, even if it's not real. David, GBP updates. GBP, do you mean Great British Pound, or you mean is this something for Google? Yeah, upload a product PNG. I think would be great. Yeah, Google Business Profile. Yeah, okay, great. And I think we can get that done as well. Customer surveys, getting reviews, and we can get customer surveys built pretty quickly as well. Let's dive into a few of these. So if Kim can upload a product PNG, or we have an input here, Brooke, as an example. Brooke, let's see, maybe put that in the chat box. Oh yeah, Kim. Okay, Kim for the win. We've got this now. So Kim, maybe come off of mute and let's see what we can do around this. So
Yeah,
the
sorry,
objective.
I think I gave our worst case
Okay.
sample there, but anyway, it's just a product.
All right, that's great. So what you want is a landing page for this. So
Yeah.
okay, landing page, e.g. All right, let's go. And if you could type for us again as well into the chat box there your website, because then what we can do is we can actually get it to refer to your brand colors as well. Right, so that one looks like it's downloaded.
Okay, and
let me go to terminal. Now, I'm inside of Claude Code right now. I showed you the nice user interface on their desktop app before. This one sits in terminal. It doesn't look as pretty, and I don't want you to be scared by the way it looks. Some people don't like that. I don't want you to be scared that it's called Claude Code, because the idea behind this is that it's just like the other large language models we've used. If we can talk to it in natural language and we very clearly tell it, here's our output, here are the things that I want you to use to do this, it can start creating this and creating it fairly quickly. So, Kim, if we've got your, okay, great.
Let's go to Aero Healthcare. We've got you won't be able to get onto the online store, but you should be able to get onto Aero Healthcare.
Hey, Claude, we are here in demo mode and we have a group of amazing business owners looking on to see how we can quickly create landing pages. Now, the first example that we're going to create is for this business. And the landing page is targeted at who's going to come to the landing page? Pharmacists. And our objective is to get them to make an order, to stock this, to book a call with you. What's the purpose of the landing page?
Make an order.
And we would like them to make an order. Hey, in this order, should they be able to order one of these? Should they be able to have free range to order how many they want? Is there a pricing sheet that
There
we
will
can
be
give it?
a MOQ, minimum order quantity.
Okay.
Yeah.
And MOQ of, is it 10, 20, 50?
Just say I think packs of 10, just say packs of 10.
Okay, cool. And have we got an approximate price for this product that we can put in right now?
Let's just put it down as $5.
Okay, for the demo, this product is worth $5, and so allow the pharmacist to select higher quantities if they want, and then make sure that the price adjusts accordingly. I'm going to attach an image of the product now, so you can use this image as much as you can get from this image to help improve the the landing page. Now, what I'm in this demo, we're missing a lot of information, right? Because ideally, I would feed them more information on the frustrations or pain points of the pharmacist. We would want to get them more excited about what this can do for them or their business, right? So is limiting context. The more context we can feed this, the much better it would be. Now, what I'm just going to do is let me grab a second from our downloads here. Here's a landing page example. Great. We're going to paste that one in. Please ask any questions you need from myself and Kim, and then I'd like you to build the landing page immediately on brand to Aero Healthcare. Now, what it should do is, as it thinks about that, it's going to do a couple of things. It's going to go off, it's going to review your website, it's going to take a look at this product's image. This product's image doesn't really tell us too much, does it? So let me just see if I can pull that up a second. Here we go. Let's see it on the screen. Let's see what information it will glean from it, because we probably need to put more in here. So Aqua Duty, Super Shield. Okay, it's waterproof bandages, right? So I think it will read that and it will actually figure out what pharmacist needs to hear on this, right? So I think we're going to get a relatively good first draft on the go. It's going to think about that. So you can see it's pulling the live branding, it's pulling the brand colors. Okay, and it's going to do this. Whilst this is running, I just have to have a quick check. Is anyone using Claude Code in a terminal like this? Has anyone had a play with this? No. Okay. Yeah, Nathaniel has. Okay, cool. All right. David, I think you'll love this because I know you've gone down the rabbit hole of OpenClaw as well. So this one is just the same, but a little bit more insular and protected, I think. Now, the important thing on this, to make this one function properly, I've had to put a lot of rules or guardrails in the background, and making sure that's been set up, making sure it captures the memory in the right way has been painful. I've had some challenges along the way. At one site, my whole website went down. So it told me it was going to change something and it wouldn't impact the website, and then the website was down. It was a major stress. I wasn't sure I was going to get it back. So we got to make sure we set these things up right in the first place. Now, this one you're going to see is going to follow through. It's going to do its process. It knows about the product. It knows the audience. It knows the pricing is already picked out. Now, it said your brand is Navy and Aero Azure Blue, and healthcare we make it better. Does that sound, Kim, does it sound like it's on point?
Yeah, it's not navy, but anyway, but that's right, it is a blue.
All right, it's a blue. Okay, great. So we can come behind and tell it that afterwards. Now, sometimes it immediately goes away and picks off the logo and brings it in, and it sometimes even picks off relevant images. Now, I just want to say we could have given it way more context, but I think that's gonna be off and running. Sondi, you said that's the scary part. What's the scary part? Yeah. Oh, it's scary that you can take it offline. Yeah, it is. Well, and I think here's the important thing. I learned a big lesson there because I thought I'd already gave it very clear instructions on what to do and what not to do. But now it's got even more guardrails. It can't do those things without my permission. There was someone recently, I don't know if you guys saw the Facebook example. So there's a senior exec at Facebook who had AI agent doing something for them. And right now, here you go. Here's one of the guardrails. Let me just interrupt. So it's asking, right, hey, can I do this? Right. So yes, you can do this. Right, it's either yes or yes just for this session. So I said yes just for this session. That's a hook I put in the system to secure it, because otherwise in the past it can go and do that, but I need to give it permission. Now it's also going to connect to Vercel. Now this is an important thing in the back of this system. For this to work well, I've got it connected up with other tools. Now one of the main tools I've demonstrated Vercel to you before. Vercel is like one of those front ends. This is going to be the screen that that we see. So it's going to build this through Vercel. It can host it on Vercel. And that Vercel piece is going to allow us to, hook up um, your credit card, hook up your merchant so that they can take payments or capture, pharmacist details, etc. So, sorry, I was in the middle of telling you a story about the Facebook exec. She had this agent doing things on her computer, and all of a sudden it started deleting things, and she said stop, and it wouldn't stop, and it wouldn't stop, and it wouldn't. So like her only thing at the time she could do was like pull the thing out of the wall. Like, so it didn't have power, it couldn't keep going. What I've done a lot with this is I've given it a lot of guardrails to do. The thing with a lot of these tools is they're like excited puppies. If they can please you, they're going to please you. So sometimes they'll rush through your guardrails in order to just get you the thing done. And so we got to have these things in here. One, where they know what to do, but two, we have hooks. I've got hooks in the back here. So you see when it pops up just now, yes or no, do it, kind of go ahead with this. I have control. It's not going to do anything. It's going to delete anything anymore. Now, here we go. I've been talking on this for maybe, what has it done? 3 minutes and 2 seconds. It's done. It's done a first version for us. Okay, now here's the moment of truth. We're going to see, is this good or is this not good, or what we would improve. Now, it's a good first draft. I think we can iterate with this. But let's see, you can tell us, is this on brand? We might need to change that image so it blends in with the background. Let's get rid of the white, but wholesale package, the waterproof bandage your customers keep coming back for. Actually, I like that. That's so benefit driven. If I'm a pharmacist, I actually want that. So super shield protection that survives showers, swimming and washing up, a fast moving front of counter line ready to stock. As a pharmacist, I want that. It's going to move fast. Customers want more of it. Okay, that's good. Again, we can fix up the image, I think. Is porting these things. I presume these are true, given that you're in the health space. We just need to double check those things and be the human in the loop.
Yeah. I mean, I would plug all that stuff in
Yeah.
from the
So we
actual
can,
pack. Back it's not, it can't read the back of the pack because I can't see it. So that's fine.
yeah. And that's the context. Like if we give it that context, it's going to know more. White
Yeah.
cells, engineered for real life, water resistant, durable, coverage,
Yeah,
sterile.
interesting is, how you got those four things you just on there?
Yeah,
That's actually, it's taken that from the website, that concept. So that's actually quite interesting. And
great.
it hasn't done a
Great,
too
great.
bad a job. I don't know what that hex is, but the blue looks like it's close to. So yeah.
Okay. We can go in and give it the exact hex and it will change that in a
Yeah.
second. Stock the line. Here's your order.
Yeah.
Aqua Duty shields. All right, and here we go. And so we can order. So it's not going to let me do less than 10. It will let me do 11, 12, 13. Price is going up accordingly. There's no scale discount on here. We haven't said that. If you want
Mm.
100, great, pay $500. Add to wholesale order. Now, need a quote or account terms, talk to our trade team. Okay, so we can get a link on that as well. Three reasons it belongs on your shelf, ready to stock. So start your order. Now, let's see what it does then. So view product specs. Okay, it's just all on one page. Order for your pharmacy. Okay, great. And then add that order. So we're going to order 100. Now, thanks for your order. Here's the next bit, right? This bit's not hooked up. So what we would need to do is then tell it the next section. Hey, here's what happens when we go to order. So it's going to need a page where it captures their name, email address, delivery. It needs to work out shipping, those kind of things. And then that, I think, is going to need to connect into probably your CRM or probably into your financial system. Now, we can go back and do that and say, hey, here we go. Hey, we like this. It's really great. We're going to need to make some changes to the colors at some point because we don't think it's exactly the right hex code. I'll give you that. Additionally, when we click the checkout button, it then doesn't do the next page. So I wonder if you can mock up for us the checkout page. We want to make this easy for them so that we can easily capture their details. We're going to need to have the ability to take payment. Is going to need to get their shipping address. We're going to need to make sure we get the right shipping price on there as well. So can you give us a first version of that? Ask us any questions you need to before we do that. Now, since this is a demo, we're not actually going to go through the process of hooking up a merchant account right now, but set it up as if we would for the demo. Right, because normally what it would do is say, hey, give me the link to your Square or your Stripe and I'll get this hooked up into the back end, or give me the link to your CRM. And it will go away and think about that. So what do we think about this then? Do we think this is good? It's pretty quick, wasn't it? It knocks it out pretty well with limited context. So I was seeing some nod.
That's done in Claude. You did that all in Claude. Sorry, my brain's trying to catch up with you.
Yeah, two things here I want you to think about, right? I'm asking, here's the tool that I'm using, which is Claude Code, right? And it's sat here on my terminal. You can probably do Claude Code in the function I showed you last week, which is in the desktop app as well. I think you
Oh,
could
okay.
have it open on here. Let me just show you the desktop app as well. You may, if you saw the Claude session 2 weeks ago, you may recognize it
Yep.
here. It's going to open up. It might need me to log in again anyway. So I'm doing it from here, okay? But what it's doing, I've connected it to my other tools. So what it's done is gone off and used the tool Vercel. It just knows Vercel is perfect for this. It's not even asked me. It knows that that's just a great place to do this. So what you'll see on the finished output is here. So what it's done is gone off to Vercel for me. So if I go into my Vercel tools now, and I think I got projects here, and come and look at projects, is actually, here you go, it's built it for me right in here. So it's gone, it's done that. I may have shown you Vercel before or V0, and I think we may have done an example before. I think we set up someone's coffee, coffee beans last time on here. So you can do a new chat in here. If you want to come in and do it yourself, I could have come in here and written, hey, set me up a landing page and described it, and it would have equally have done the same thing. But Claude's kind of circumvented me needing to go into that system, and it's just, it's connected to that and it's done it. Now, the good thing is because it can be connected to my CRM, it could be connected to my bank if I wanted it, it can link these things together. So what it's asking from me right now then is, what do we want to do? Do we want a flat rate shipping? Do we want it tiered by quantity? Or maybe it's free over a certain threshold. So, all right, let's just do, for example, this then free if they spend over $250. Um,
Yep.
let's say it's GST inclusive for this example, and then submit. It goes right, ask those questions, and it will go off and we'll start to do those. So now the good thing about this is the speed of iteration. Okay, because if I come back to this one, anything we don't like on here, I can come in, I can ask it, I could change it. I can immediately say, hey, take off, that is sterile wound protection, that's not true, or add this description. I don't like the image. What I could actually do is ask for it to remove the white background here so that the product is on the blue. It will do that for me. I was doing something recently with YouTube. I had a YouTube video embedded in one of these landing pages, and um, it needed a thumbnail. I'm not visual. I can't do these things. And it actually looked at the page and made a thumbnail that really matched the theme and the style of the page. And it did it for me. Like it was, a minute or two. It's even done some video editing in here as well. I've had, you may have seen a couple of episodes ago where we did about, I had the face swap. So I was talking like this, and then it exactly matched the other person. It put those two side by side for me. I don't know how to put two videos together side by side, but it put them both side by side and synced so you could see that. I don't know how to do it. I don't even know which tool to use, but when it accessed the tool, it did it. Didn't charge me anything else for that as well. So let's see what it's doing right here, and then maybe we'll jump into another example. Two quick decisions that change the maths of the page. So both locked in, shipping $12.95 flat fee, GST inclusive. Okay, so building the checkout and wiring it in now. Hey, so whilst it's doing this, let me see, there's some questions here. Can you do it in any other AI tools or just recommend Claude? Look, you totally can. There are other tools that will do this. OpenClaw seems to be the other one that's popular. I'm not recommending that or teaching that for anyone on here. There's a lot more setup. There's a lot more cost in tokens. If you don't manage it right, it can do some challenging things. I'm only recommending Claude Code right now because I've invested a lot of time in it, and I'm excited by the power of it. I think we can set up now. In this case, yeah, Claude Code and Vercel are working together. So the key bit I want you to get about this is anything with an API link, right? We mentioned before, like how do we get from, I think I may have shown you a picture. We had a house here and a house here, and there was a big body of water in between. How do we get them between? We kind of build a bridge. That API is the bridge between the two systems. So any tool that has an API key, we can connect into this, right? So like yesterday, when this client wanted the analysis and a dashboard of what's going on in her business, first of all, we actually started off, the team member was going to deliver it, the information, and they couldn't deliver it. Their function, the tool didn't deliver it very well. It's like, well, do you have an API? As soon as you have an API key, it opens up. The tool can work with this. Right. So now it's on a checkout page. So I can actually just go straight to this checkout page. What I'm going to want to do though is I want to refresh a second and just see what happens if it's already linked that up for me. Yeah, there you go. It has. So it's linked it. So I can click it. Here we go. So what's the name of the business, the phone number, their address, ABN optional, pharmacy account number optional. Now, if they have a trade account, that would be quite useful. They can put in their shipping address. Now we can get more advanced on that. We can probably put it in there so it actually picks out their address. When it's already pre-filled, you start to type it in, it picks an exact address. We can add that in later as well. Here's a payment. Now it says for here, look, it's demo mode, but we can hook up any of these things on the back end, whatever your Stripe, Square, whatever it is, and then we can click. It gives me a chance to recheck my order. So actually get to 200 and unlock free shipping. Let's see if it does that. Let's get to 201. Great. And the shipping becomes free. I like that. That's good. So it's actually got an incentive on the page there. And of course we can click. Now, because I haven't locked in the merchant, it's not going to do that. But the next page we would do then is like, hey, we'll give them a congratulations, welcome. Yeah, David just said OpenClaw runs amok, like that Mickey Mouse cartoon, the Sorcerer's Apprentice casting a spell to get to the brooms to deliver the buckets of water. Yes, it's exactly like that. And here's the important piece. It chews up a lot of tokens, a lot of cost. We're seeing a lot of people complain about, how much money is being wasted. So we want to be very specific with these tools and keep them in a tight boundary. Otherwise, it goes and chews up your tokens. And there's ways with Claude Code I can manage that and set up, and I can show you that as well. David spent $500 overnight just on something on OpenClaw, right? So that's easily gone. This tool right now, I started off using Claude Code. I was on a $20 a month package. Once you start building things like this, it might have built this one tool for me, and then that might chew up my tokens. I've gone to the $160 a month package. That gets me, I'm building things all the time for clients. Now, some of you immediately, your reaction will be like, oh, $160 because you're comparing to a $20 package. But what I want you to think about is the comparison here isn't to a $20 ChatGPT subscription. Your $160, you're really comparing against, hey, if I had to get a freelancer to build this for me, or if I had to spend the time to do this, right, what's it worth? Now, if I've spent $160 on this, for me to go and get someone to design this page and build it for me, someone who's skilled with web, they're not going to do that for less than $160. That's probably like half hour of their time, right? And then you're not going to get the iterations. So I think the comparison here, David, cheaper to go to the casino. Yeah, it might be more fun as well. So, okay, great. Now let's see what it says. So here's what it is. Here's the money. Payment is mocked up. Yeah, okay, great. Two things with the color hex, send through the hex and we'll change it. And if this becomes real, give us the merchant wiring and we can link it in as well. Anything like to add PO number, delivery instructions, bulk discount price, so it can add that in. Is even suggesting to do these things for me. So that's the first one. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a really great demo. Actually, I quite like it, the way it looks, the way it feels. I think it all looks pretty professional. And for me, someone who's not technical to go and build that, I'd never get that done. I wouldn't get that done. So, and that's a really great first example. Are we happy with that as a first example? How to build landing pages? Yeah, I've seen some nods. Now, there was a question here. I want to sign up for a free Vercel to create the newsletter and social media models. When you sign up for all of these AI tools using browser versions, do you use a junk email address or do you use your actual business address? And what would you recommend? I think there's two thoughts on this. I've gone backwards and forwards on this. I have sometimes signed up with my kevin@profithive.com.au through Google, right? So it's a Google authentication process and you do that. Now, that's great, but if I ever wanted to share that with a team member, it becomes very difficult for them to log in. So that gets a little bit tricky. So sometimes I try to take the option of logging in, not with the Google Authenticate, but just with the username and password. And then I've got another email address, which is just a kevin.bees@gmail. I sometimes sign up on that just because that's convenient to share. Now, for security, you're probably more secure just signing up on your business address. I'm not sure if that quite answers your question, Sonia, or if you want to come off mute and ask for clarification.
Yes, I'm just signing up for Vercel because I want to get those models done for my
Yeah.
newsletter to get content happening. And it's asking me, it's suggesting to use a work email address. And I never use my business email address for any of this kind of stuff. I normally use a junk email because of the amount of emails that they send.
Yeah.
But why is it suggesting for me to use a work email? Like I'm really trying to understand why it would be asking me for that.
I don't know. That's a really good question. I'm not sure. It's not mandatory, is it?
It's not mandatory. I can choose whatever email I want. It's just saying we suggest using the email address that you use for work. So I'm thinking,
Yeah.
why is it saying that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe if you're doing it for work, they're probably trying to keep privacy, data, and those types of things. So if you were inside of an organization and you're using your organizational email, then great. If you're using a personal email, then there's data privacy issues, those types of things. Maybe for
Yeah,
marketing purposes, if you sign up from your company, they can glean more information and more data about you. I don't actually know. I don't have a good answer
yeah.
for that.
So there's
I'm
really
not
no
sure.
impact to the use of the actual use
No,
of it.
not to my knowledge. No, providing you're paying your subscription fee, they'll take your money. I think, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, I think that's
All
it.
right, thank you.
Good. Now, did I miss any other questions here? Yes. And so, George, guardrails, we can talk more about that. It's a little bit more of an in-depth topic or conversation than today. There's a lot of things to think about on that, and we're going to get them right for you. So that's going to be a future conversation. So we can talk more about the guardrails right now. Today, I just want to demo what's possible. Now, I think, Kim, I think we've ticked off a good example for you here. You can see what's possible. Yeah, see nods. Now, Brooke, I think you were asking about and I think a couple of you asked about tenders or proposals or price quotes and those things. So I don't know if Brooke or Nathaniel, if you're happy to share an example of what you have at the moment, we'll just go in and see what we can build on a proposal basis, if that works. Whilst you're doing that, I'm just going to tell Claude that we're going to shift. Hey, Claude, that was great. Really great example. Thank you so much. We are now going to shift to a new demo. We are going to build a proposal tool or a tender type document. And I know we've done one of these recently for myself and the other clients. So we can actually leverage what we've learned on that process already. So I think what we'd like to do is be able to easily drop in the relevant data and information and have the proposal tool come out looking professional. Now, who is willing to share? I think Brooke and Nathaniel both asked for proposal tools. So any of you, either you happy to come off mute or share some documents with us that we can run?
Yeah, for sure. I'll just attach a few documents in the chat. Is that what I do? Yeah.
Yeah, if you're happy to drop them in there, and
Yeah.
yeah, if you're comfortable with that, that's good.
Yeah, for sure.
And now we'll share this with Claude with your permission. If there's anything commercially sensitive in there, etc., you don't want me to open up on the screen, just let me know. I want to be mindful of that. But what it will do is it will take this as an example. Now, your website as well as Nursery on Glebe, isn't it? So if I can put that
Yes.
in as well. Let me see if I can pull that one up. So what are we doing? A sales proposal, a tender RFT response, or flexible so it handles both? Brooke, tell us about this because I know you're helping people purchase a lot of plants.
I guess like when people come in face to face, it's pretty cool. But then those people who come in face to face will then want further work done. So whether it's residential or commercial. So they might come in, have a bit of a chat. We meet them on site. We go away and put, I guess, like an interior design or whatever, or we put together a few ideas for them with some pricing. So often they're presented with just paper, so it's not very meaningful. So we'll give them a breakdown and they might just see, oh crap, 10 grand, like, what's that? So yes, just further justification, I guess, on kind of like a why work with us. This is what this is a snapshot of what it could look like, or I guess, why work with us? Here's what we're putting together. And instead of just seeing numbers and a few pictures, maybe make it a bit more enticing where they, sign on the line. So a proposal document, I guess, is probably, or like it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a document or something they can click on online or something like that.
It could be a PDF. It could be a
PDF,
webpage,
totally, or something,
cool.
or a link where they can access. Or I'm just trying to get the documents to load in the chat. So just bear.
Yeah, that's fine. Now I'll give the instructions to Claude. Hey, Claude, the outcome on this is that it's effectively like an interior designer. So the Nursery on Glebe have the ability to go and improve the appearance of someone's home, someone's office, and they can redeck it out with the the amazing products that they have. So I'd like you to review their website and then consider that we want to give them their customers or their prospects a professional looking document that really helps sell why this will be the case. So the concern for Brooke at the moment is they may hear a $10,000 price tag and freak out and not really understand the value. So what this document really needs to do is position the value of this service and what a difference it's going to make to them, and why nursery on Glebe. So use whatever marketing and principles you have around maximizing conversion on this. This needs to be a document that wows them and converts them. We are open to it being a PDF or a HTML. You can guide us on that, whatever's going to render the quickest and easiest for this example. What I've been doing with another proposal tool we created is it renders a PDF, and the PDF looks great. It's on brand for the business. It looks good. Sometimes in a demo it gets a little bit fiddly because the first version, it doesn't quite fire properly, and we're going to get it to use a different tool. But we'll see what it comes up with here. If those things are struggling to load into the chat, you're more than welcome to drop them to me on email if that's easier for you as well, Brooke. I know sometimes Zoom gets a little bit fiddly on these things as well. Okay, it's going to pull your brand. Okay, it's going to go for HTML because it's going to render instantly. That's great. And it's a shareable link. Okay, and it can have a one-click download PDF. So we're going to get both best of both worlds in here. Now, one thing I want you to think about in using this tool really shifts us from being the person doing the tasks, the person guiding and teaching people, teaching the AI what to do. You'll notice I've got a lot of tabs open at the top because effectively I sometimes have many projects on the go at the moment. Because you imagine each time I do this, it may take 4 or 5 minutes to go and do that piece of work. And here I'm getting impatient. It would take me 5 days. And I'm like, oh, it's taking 5 minutes. So I jump to the next window, and then I work on that project and jump to the next window. So there's actually, with this, as you get it going, you end up doing a lot more context switching. Your job is more to tell it what to do and review the quality and give it feedback. It's like a very eager intern. It's going to keep giving you what you need. Now, it says it's ready. So it's a positioning piece, not a quote. Okay, so it's going to make it feel like the 10,000 obvious. And here's the strategy it's going to bake in. So it's already figured out it's going to reframe the price as an investment against the value of the home, interior designer fees. I don't know about the cost per day breakdown. We'll see how that comes out. Is anchoring the price with tiers. Oh, it's going to show a 25K option. I don't know if that's going too wild in this case. Is that feasible? Would people stretch that far, or that's just beyond what's likely? Or when you're on mute.
Sorry, there's my thing. Sorry, I thought they'd loaded, but they hadn't.
No, that's okay. That's good. And so the 25K, is that way beyond the realms of likelihood?
There's probably more under that for sure, but useful in our landscaping part as well. So yeah, whilst there's small, okay, it's useful across the board. Yeah.
All right, so he's gonna do the price anchor, and I like the idea. I guess everyone gets the idea of a price anchor if they see that this is what it could be, and here's the actual price that you push this position for. Then great. Now, the good thing about this is they may actually go for the 25K package. They may go for that offer as well, and we can tweak and change these prices and positioning afterwards. He's going to do the value stack of what's included. It's going to talk about the emotional transformation, how they're going to feel. It's going to give them a risk reversal, okay, which helps establish guarantee. And we may need to discuss around that and see if you're comfortable with the risk reversal, but guarantee can often help. And it's going to give you authority in the process. That's good. It hasn't mentioned anything around testimonials or anything like that, so we may need to look at pulling those things in. Let me download these documents you've given us. Okay, and then we can pull that into the model as well. Okay, great. That one looks like it's downloaded. Download. Okay, great. And then download. Save. Download. Okay, great. Save. All right, so it's already produced something for us right now. It's done. So a premium conversion engineered styling proposal. It tackles all of these things. All right, we're going to take a look now. But whilst we're taking a look there, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag in these documents that we've just downloaded as well on the other drive. So into my downloads, we should be able to tick these 3 things. Hey, thank you so much. We're going to go and take a look at what you've created right now. In the meanwhile, I'd like you to review the existing estimates that Brooke has shared. If there's anything in here that we can leverage to improve what we've created, I'd like to start thinking about that, and let me know what you might change on this this proposal format before you do it. So I'm going to ask it to let us know, because otherwise it will get excited and we'll just start changing it as we're looking at the thing. So let's have a look. That was pretty good. Now that thought for 4 minutes and 7 seconds. So let's see if here we go into here, paste, go. Drum roll. Is this good? Now, is that on brand? Does it look like it's your colors, or is it a little bit off? I should probably set it to rework the brand. It's not exactly it, is it?
Yeah, a little bit off, but it's not too bad.
Okay. So now we this looks like it's produced it for you as opposed to the client, because it's still got the price up here, but we can update it. So prepared for bees, residents, their space, Nelson Bay, and then their investment. All right, let's do the 25K package. I'm sure my wife's going to be happy with that. Update the document. Okay, so here's what it would look like. Now, it's giving me a download PDF option, but here's your personalized, your space transformed into somewhere you never want to leave. I don't know if that's exactly right for your clients. We can probably feed it more about the ideal client, the frustrations, desires, and it will then make this way more on brand. So that may not be the right thing, but yeah, it's immediately changed that. Bees residents, prepared by Nursery on Glebe, investment 25K. So it isn't about plants, it's about how your space makes you feel. Ooh, I like that. Feel calm on arrival, effortless to live with, space people remember. Imagine walking into it. Now, I probably should have, I said Nelson Bay, the area, but I should probably call it, hey, let's be on brand here. Walking into their space, beehive, right? Why not? Imagine walking into your beehive, right? Update the document. Great, it's done. And feeling instantly is great. It's unmistakably yours. It's not an expense. It's the backdrop to every day you spend in it. Oh, I like that. I'm feeling more persuaded by the second. I'm there every day. Consider process, zero guesswork. I like that it outlines your process. Your discovery, design, install, flourish. That you may have a different process. We can add that in. Sometimes the process can be really valuable. We had that many years ago with a guy who was a kitchen fitter, and he actually had a 25-step process that he did. Everyone did installing these marble worktops. Everyone had the same 25 steps, but we put that in the process. We have a 25-step take care, and it's like everyone's doing it, but he was the one who mentioned it, and that actually just looked more premium. Okay, here's the itemization, the personalized styling, the bespoke design, the premium locally grown statement plants, designer pots and vessels, professional delivery and styling, 90-day establishment and care guarantee. Oh, I like that. So you're going to take care of them for 90 days. That feels good. Now, I don't like that it's gone from 13 to 25,000. We might need to work on that. It's like, hey, you normally this is 13,000, but you're going to pay 25,000. We may need to fix that bit there. The day, how much is going to cost per day over 5 years? Ooh, I don't know about that. We can take a look at that. Half the cost of an interior designer's fee on this project, a project of this size. Okay, that's good. Adds
They could
value.
even just be images in those squares,
We can definitely put images. Yeah, we can add the images. And if you've taken pictures of their space, we can actually get an AI image to render what it would look like, a mock-up of what it would look like. We can do that. That might be a little bit more work, but we can get a process around that as well. So if you could take the images and then AI knows what plants you have or what kind of pots you have, it could begin to render that. And I think we've shown you some tools like that before. Okay, free ways to bring it to life. I like it. So it's got the most chosen. You can go with the 25K. It's still frame the 10, even though I put this up to 25, it's frame the 10. I wonder what happens here, how well this changes. I wonder if I do 30,000, update the document. Yeah, okay, interestingly, I don't think it's done it. Yeah, okay, so it's changed this here, but then I don't know, that doesn't add to 30, does it? So we got a bit of a bug here, right? We can already see the first pass. These things, we just need to fix them up. Like, hey, if we're going to put 30, it's like, oh, I don't know how to split up amongst 30. So it's totaling that. So we need to fix the pricing thing, but as a structure, it works. Okay, you can select any one of these, name your space, love it or leave it, love it or we make it right, guarantee. Okay, let's bring the best. Now let's customize. Let's put that thing in from the top. All right, and so I can book my consultation. I can visit the nursery. If I hit download PDF, let's see if that function works. Now, I'm okay with this. This isn't the best way. We've got another way we can do this. We've got a Wheezy PDF in the background it can use, but this one kind of you just save as PDF. I don't like the way it works because it cuts off. So what I would be inclined to do in this is I'm going to go back and give it feedback on this, right? And we'll just watch how it changes it. So I'm going to just take a look at this here and take that screenshot and bring that one back in. Hey, thank you. Really great first draft. A couple of things. The PDF is going through the print function, and then the layout doesn't work very well. I know we've got another way to print the PDF. I think you've used Wheezy before. So if you can fix the PDF version, that would be great. Then the other issue that we've got on it then in this case is that, the major thing in here is the pricing doesn't update, right? So the estate option doesn't adjust to the total price. So also, can you look at the pricing of this, because we've updated it with a $30,000 price, but that doesn't seem to be dynamic enough to change the estate price. Let's just make sure I've called that right so it understands we've got the right thing. Yeah, that's good. I think that's okay. Now, the other bit we would get into then is these buttons aren't clickable yet. That would be the next thing we could do, because it would be great, just like we did with the landing page, say, hey, set up a payment card so they can just pay a deposit or take the amount. But we can ask that, and off it goes. And then we'll think about that and we'll iterate. But as a first pass, I think we need to come back on the branding, design. We could actually, in the other version that I've got of a proposal document, what we do on the proposal is we can take a sales conversation. So if we had a sales conversation, we recorded it in Fathom or Otter or anything like that. We can actually take the whole conversation, paste it into the proposal, and then the proposal actually writes out the specific things that have been said in there. So it can name
that
the
would
person.
be amazing. Yeah,
that we can do that as well. Do you typically your conversations, do you get them transcribed?
No, we don't. But that would save so much time and work. Yeah, that's where things kind of get backlogged. Is quotes and proposals for sure. So any way to fast track that would be priority.
This is easy. This works well. We've got a well trodden process on this. So we just basically, at the moment, we copy the transcripts and paste it in. We can actually get that set up by API. So it happens, like I say, hey, make a proposal on this call, and it will go through, it will do it. And then what I've seen is that in the document, it actually refers and uses their words, which is so powerful. Hey, you said when this happens, this, and this. And it picks that out.
Even at a site visit, recording like the whole site visit or certain points of it, maybe, would be
great.
Amazing.
All right, that's good. That's going to keep working in the background. Now let's see. Then we've done two different demos. We can see how this one's going. This one's going to keep going. We'll chug along. Let's see. Was there something else? Was there something else someone had burning in their mind? Let me just catch up with the other message I've missed. Okay, David said Claude is pay to play, 200 to 400 a month. OpenAI lost 16 billion last year. Is currently running as a charity, offering $20 per month, but not for much longer. And yeah, I saw that, David. I think, what are they doing? They're I think I saw it this morning. For every dollar they take, it's cost them $1.12, I think, or $1.14, something like that. And of course, they're about to be publicly launched on the stock market. So yeah, I don't know how they can be valued as high as they are and being a loss-making business. I think we saw Anthropic recently. I think their valuation was significantly higher. I think it was like 900 billion or something like that. It was getting close to $1 trillion. Again, not making money. So I don't know about the investment opportunities in this. This isn't investment advice, but to invest that much money in a company that's not making money might be challenging. Now Amazon did start like that. I think that's a really valid point. Amazon did start as a lower cost service, so they're buying the market share right now. Now, other suggestions were quotes, website updates, lead, FAQs, tracking client prospects, interactions, emails, blogs, cash flow reviews, Google business profiles, customer surveys. So yeah, OpenAI is buying your data. Yeah, actually, I guess that's probably more the scary point, isn't it, David? So that's probably the point, how much they're paying to buy your data. Sondi, you're brilliant. You come up with good dad jokes and you're identifying what's next. So we kind of covered off quotes. Website updates, you can kind of see how website updates work, because if you hook this into your WordPress via API, it can go in there and update things immediately. With some of our tools like the article generator, it automatically places that article into the drafts for me. Now, I could immediately have it paste it and go live, but I want to be the human in the loop and check and validate before it goes live. Sometimes these things don't work. Now, I'm trying to think what would make for a good example. Let's talk about the FAQs. Okay, so now, Sonia, part of your question on the FAQ was actually doing the research. So have you got a specific page that you'd like to add FAQs to? Because maybe we can see right now, can it do the research, come up with the FAQs, and then give us the HTML code to paste it into your website?
Sure, I'll just copy and paste the URL into the chat.
Okay, great. That's awesome. And clearly, Brooke, what I've asked for it to do on your website is having to think a little bit harder about. You can see all of these green things is the coding that is changing. You can see, hey, this is what it was before. Here's what it is now. It's going through there. We don't need to know that. Don't need to understand it. Doesn't look pretty. It normally does that and then tells us as we're going.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay. Now, I don't know what's happened. My Google Drive has just clearly had a problem. So I don't know what's happened there. It's weird because normally everything on Google Drive, yeah, okay. So it must have been trying to write to Google Drive and it's timed out somehow. Maybe that's what was going on. So it's doing something in the background. Sometimes with Google Drive, everything from my Google Drive should be saved up in the cloud. But every so often Google turns off the cloud, it drops back to your computer, and that's an issue. So I don't know how to fix that. We need to fix that. But let's start up a new chat for you, Sonia. And is there a specific page where where you'd want to add FAQs?
Yeah, so I've just you can see on my homepage there, I've put the FAQs for the homepage just as normal text at the bottom of the page, but I've now got the ability to. I've just had our web guy create containers, I suppose, where it's going to have a little plus where they'll be able to, the question will appear and then the answer underneath it. But every page, now that I've had that created by my helper, my web guy, I now need for every single page of my website, I want to find the specific questions that people are asking about those pages. So rather than me just making up what I think my target audience would ask, I actually want to know what they're asking, what they're typing into Google, what are they asking AI, what are they asking Siri, what are they, so what are they actually asking, so that those questions are really on point. So a page we could do, Kevin, might be under products. Let's choose the Park Edition, for example. That's our biggest selling product.
So under products and then the Park Edition.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
That's our biggest seller.
And so we'd like to add relevant FAQs here. Now, David has posted a good suggestion in the chat box. David is an expert at this. I know he helps a lot of his clients with this. Well, David, did you feel free to come off mute a second and share your marketing insight here? Because I think it'd be very valuable for the rest of the group if you're happy to.
Sure, Kevin. I'll just put a couple of things in there. I think Google's recently just changed the people also ask sections. I think that's disappeared now. That used to be a great place to get it, but it's evidently just disappeared now from answers. So I follow a guy called Hey Tony, and he says that he's using findquestions.com. There used to be another one called Answer the Public, where you could get it from. But recently, one of the things I've got my clients doing, and I have a very unusual client base, which is just plastic surgeons all around the world. And I get them to write down all of the comments of when they're trying to sell the plastic surgery. And recently, we take we de-identify it, and I run all of those comments through through ChatGPT to create the FAQs, which were effectively all of the objections that people were coming up with. And they turned out to be the best FAQs I've ever seen in my entire life. So these are all the people that didn't buy effectively, and all the FAQs as to the excuses and the reasons and things that they'd given us. So that was the objections FAQs, which is, it says there. Other people are using the client call transcriptions or their sales notes that they use. So they're transcribing all of the meetings that they have. They're transcribing, they're using Claude or Pocket or Fieldly. They're wearing those things, and they're just literally picking up all of the calls. There's another one called Triple Session or Centify, that they're doing call recordings, and they're literally just picking up all of the things that people are saying on the inbound calls or the emails. So they're processing their inbound data to find out what people are actually asking. The simplest questions are always the really easy ones, like, where are you located and how much is it and when can I get it and all those sorts of things. That's the sort of basic stuff that we're getting asked at reception. The receptionist will always tell you what their simplest questions are. I like another one called, I use, Kevin, FAQs, which is the simple things that we get asked all the time that are like the annoying questions. Then there's the ones that are, as I said, the objection questions that are the sort of real objections. And then I also had to have, my original background was wedding receptions in the Dandenong Ranges in Melbourne. And we'd get occasional ones such as, what will happen if the venue burns down? Will I get my money back? So we would train the staff on those ones, and we called those FADQs that we had ready to go if people asked them, but we wouldn't put those out in public. We just literally trained the staff on those, and they were called FADQs. And in plastic surgery, that might be, what if the surgeon died? Will I get a refund on that? Or what if I died? You know, do I get a refund? That sort of thing. So they're called FADQs. Anyway, there's FAQs.
And do I ask what the D is for? Is D for disaster or?
No, frequently asked difficult questions. So it was a difficult one. And just on the second part there, it's also saying it wants, on a particular topic, it wants 100 FAQs sprinkled throughout the website. It wants 15 on the product page, and then it wants supporting pages related to that product page, and it wants another set of FAQs on that, and it wants 15 on that one, and wants a different 15. So I only know about this in a procedure, say, I don't know, breast augmentation. We have a breast augmentation page that has 15 FAQs. Then you have a recovery after breast augmentation support page, and that has 15 FAQs. Then you have a risks of a breast augmentation support page, and that has another 15 FAQs. Then you have a cost of breast augmentation in Sydney page, and that has another 15 FAQs over there. So, but across the board, it wants you to cover 100 FAQs. I also just gave you something that's the hottest thing that I've seen lately. This is for you, Kevin. It's a special gift because I think you're wonderful. Is Norg.ai. That is the hottest thing I've seen in ages. That's a multi-billion-dollar thing that I discovered this week. And
what
that's
is it?
For anybody.
Norg?
Norg.au. Norg.au. I put it up above there on the 1025 comment. This is for anybody selling products. It's a young guy in Melbourne that worked out how to take all of the information about your product and make it so that it rather than put it all up on the website, he basically created it into a little AI package so that it loaded directly into AI everything that AI wanted to know about all of your products in great detail, so that you went to the front of the queue for ChatGPT recommending you. So he's been working with several big companies like Dulux and Sellies and others, and it literally has jumped them to the front of the ChatGPT queue for recommendations and others. So it's been an absolute blitzer. He's gone off now to America to do VC. So anyway, but what he did was that he packaged in the back end of the website the JSON coded stuff instead of doing it's in the website, you work it out. AI is very lazy, so it just literally wanted you to just give me the coded information, everything I could possibly want to know about purchasing your product, you know, in a little AI packet.
Let's give David a big round of applause, a big cheer for that. David, that was very generous, very kind of you, and there's a lot of options in there. I'm looking forward to trying Norg.au and findquestions.com. That's really great. We've had a masterclass there, you know, so I hope you're all feeling very, very grateful. That's a really great insight. Yeah, seeing some love, seeing some thumbs up coming. So that's really great. I think on that note, it looks like it's gone ahead and it's finding the questions and the answers. It's starting to build those in here. We can see it. It's you know, in the JSON schema, ready to paste. Okay, so it's saying we can drop this anywhere in the relevant place on the website. So it's going to build.
Just a quick one on this, Kevin. You recall that most people struggle to find somebody to sit at the front desk, and if you can get these FAQs really good and things, you will save, you know, hours and hours and hours of the front desk person asking the same simple questions over and over and over again. It's just amazing. And they can have it in voice, they can have it in video, they can have it in words, they can have it in any way they want it. Anyway.
There you go. I love that. That's so good. It's gonna be a lot of time saved here off of this. Now, I think this goes back to the very beginning of the call, which is we've got to make sure we understand, you know, what is the outcome we want, and then what is the inputs and the process. So David's given us some really great things here. We know the outcome that we want here is FAQs. We know like the inputs, we're going to go and use these tools that have just been mentioned. And then the process, how do we set that up? Now, what it's done for us at the moment, Sonia, is given us as a PDF. I think what it probably could also do is give us the HTML to paste into your website. But let's go and look in my outputs. Give me a second. So I should just be able to go here. It drops everything from me in my outputs here. So if I go back to the top, here we go. Here's our handover document. And now it hasn't really made it on brand or pretty for you or anything, but what does it say? This pack gives you ready to publish set of FAQs. Here's the full question set. Okay, and it's starred, which ones may be the highest priority. It's an 8 to 12 for one page. Now, David's recommendation was 15, so we could go back and ask it to revisit that. But questions on cost, value, comparison, practical specifications, suitability, and use. So it's given us that and it's done the research. I guess what we could do, Sonia, in here is say, this is great. Given that you have access to Sonia's website, please give us the full HTML code that would be on brand for her that we can paste in. And please do that in an instruction document for Sonia so she actually knows exactly where to paste it without damaging the website. The other thing is here we have an expert on FAQs and they recommend 15 FAQs for the page. So just stretch this to 15. Right, great. And off it will go and it will go ahead and do that. So I think that's wonderful. Hey, I think in terms of time, I wonder, do we push into one more demo? I might hold it there because if we start one and don't get it finished, that will probably just be a little bit annoying, but it's going to do this. Do we have another quick one? Maybe there's a quick one we can do. No, I think I might hold it there because if we launch into one now and we don't get it done, that's probably going to be a little bit frustrating. So we can pick up more of this. Let's just pause for a second on this. I'll just pause the share. I'll stop the share for a second. This session has been a little bit different to normal because we're rolling up our sleeves and figure things out. Now, I think there's 2 or 3 examples we've done here that might be useful, but I appreciate each of you probably had other things that you'd love to get done. So has this kind of approach been useful? Do we want to run more sessions like this, or is it been a bit frustrating because we haven't got to your specific example yet? I'm open to honest feedback on this because if this works, we'll make this more of a regular thing. I can intermingle the teaching with the actual implementation. I'm trying to find the right balance for the next 12 weeks. I've kind of dumped a lot of knowledge on you. Okay, more like this. Okay, I'm seeing some useful. If it hasn't been useful, please also say that in the chat because otherwise I'm going to get a confirmation bias here. The people who liked it are saying yes, and the ones who didn't are saying nothing. So if it's not useful, you want a different format, tell me because I just want to fashion this and shape this for you. Okay, it's great to see real life examples, helpful demo of Claude Code. Yeah, and I think what we're going to do is with Claude Code, I want to circle back to Brian's question from earlier, which is like, hey, how do we set up the guardrails? The bigger piece in the guardrails is also the memory, because often you can work with these tools, and if you don't have the memory set up in the right way, it loses that, it forgets it. Now, mine has full context of me. We've got it set up to Obsidian so it can capture data. We've got it connected to my tools so we can go and find things. So like this week, I need landing pages, quizzes set up, email sequences set up. It can go and do that, right? Because it's already got the connection to all of those things. Now, part of that memory and understanding how to have the memory set up is to David's point, which is valid, which is token maximization, right? Since going to this $160 package, I've never had an issue on maxing out tokens. I'm building stuff every day for myself and for clients. I'm a heavy user. I think I might need to ask it how long I'm on here for. I sit here late at night because I'm so excited about all the things it can do for me and clients. Actually, here's the thing. I set up to 1:30 last night. Because I just got into building things for clients, and it's like, hey, we can do this thing and this thing and this thing, and it's actually quite addictive. So I'm doing a lot and not chewing through the tokens because of the structure. There's some ways to know that. So I think it's going to take a little bit longer to do that. Now, I think the best way that I can help you with that is if we run an additional group specific to this 12 week. Like 12 weeks is more about tools. If you feel as though you want to get this set up for you and have Claude set up in a safe way where we maximize the tokens, make sure it has the memory and the context. I am the excited puppy. I am. I think this is game changing. What I'm seeing it do for clients is amazing. Just like, one with a GP surgery this week, they've got 8 GPs in there. And of course, what we're trying to do is grow the revenue of the surgery. Now, we're expanding the surgery so we can bring on another 4 GPs. That's going to help instantly. But with the existing GPs, we can see some are billing, here, and some are billing here. And actually all of them are under what could be the industry standard, the industry target. Now, as soon as we connected the API into this and we can run the data and the analysis, we can immediately see where they were dropping revenue and dropping opportunities. And it's a simple conversation. We get this report once a week, once a fortnight. That report can go to the practice owner. So the practice owner knows what conversations to have with them, but individual reports can go to the GPs and say, hey, you've done a great job. You're improving. Here's where you are versus this time last year. It's up 10%, 20%. And by the way, here's your opportunity. Focus on this week. Do this thing. Say this thing, and that's just growing it. Now, you imagine if by each GP we're growing it by $1,000 and a bit a week, $1,000 and a bit per month. That compounds massively over 8 GPs across the year. So yeah, I'm definitely an excited puppy because this is really empowering. Once you have this set up, it's going to open up a lot of possibilities for you. I think I may have shown you before. I am an excited puppy. I hadn't really planned to talk about this, but if I can go back to the here, like. We've got so many things that we're building so quickly for clients. I don't know what I've done here. I'm maxing out Chrome. I might have closed some tabs. But here are some of the tools that I built, for myself. They're continuing to be built. We've got some client ones in here. We're building more and more. These are the ones that, I don't have confidential stuff in there that I can show. And then we've got so many tools, so many ideas. Every time I talk to this tool, we come up with another idea that we can do, another idea that we can do. I've had to put them in a backlog, right? Because I don't have enough time. It can build it quicker than I can review it and quality control it. So we've got a whole backlog here. It summarizes for me, here are all of the projects that we have in play that we can do. And what it's done, so it had so many of these tools, I had to build a tool to manage them. For each one, it will tell me like, hey, here's the project and here's the priority. It prioritizes it for me based on what's the impact it will have on me and my clients, what's the probability of it happening, and how much effort, right? The lower effort and the bigger impact in probability, the higher up it goes. And for each one of these projects, it summarizes for me. I don't ask it to do this. When we come up with the idea, I'm like, yeah, okay, that has to go on, put it on the matrix. When it puts it on the matrix, it makes an assessment for me. I can re-edit these and allocate these around if I want to edit it, and I can resort the priority. I won't do that now because I have to show my password. But on each one, I can click the link and it shows me. It's giving me the instructions here, right? This is, hey, here's what needs to happen. On this project, it's done everything it can, but in the CRM doesn't have this particular part of the CRM, the email sequence. It doesn't have an API. It doesn't allow me to do that. So it comes and tells me, hey, Kevin, here are the decisions you need to take. And by the way, once you make those decisions, I think it even gives me the emails to post. Here's the emails you got to paste in each of the email sequences. It's done. I just need to go in there and follow this, copy, paste, right? So yes, to your point, I am definitely an excited puppy, and particularly for you. So what I'd like to do, if there's enough interest in this, and I think we've already had 3 or 4 people put their hands up and say they want to do this, outside of the 12 weeks, I'm going to keep doing the 12 weeks and keep iterating that. You guys have access to that. You paid for that. You can keep coming back as long as I'm doing that. As an aside thing from that, because it's a little bit more complex and takes a little bit of time, I want to run a group of 5 people. We're going to set up this Claude code in the right way. We're going to make sure it maximizes your tokens. It keeps you safe and secure. And you can start building things. And we'll do that over 5 weeks. I think to do that properly, we're going to need to do that, set up your guardrails in your way. I don't want to charge a lot for that. I want it to be like a small test group. So if I can have 5 people, $1,000 a piece, like if you think that would be interesting for you, you want to jump on that and we build that out together, I'd love to just drop me, actually 2 ways you can do it. Either drop me an email at Kevin, let me just jump through this a second. Either drop me an email at Kevin at ProfitHive and say agent, and we can get that set up, or you can click on, I'm not even sharing my screen anymore, am I? Let me share my screen, that'll be helpful. More, share. Hey, Owen, good to see you. I see you just dropped in. Let me share this one again. So over this 5 week, if that's sharing now, it is, we can do it as a group. Okay, 5 of us. I think that would probably be a good spot. Depending on how many of us there are, we could do that. So either drop me an email to Kevin at ProfitHive, or you can just book on my calendar here and we can have a chat and make sure it's going to be, relevant for you. I don't want to bring anyone if it's not relevant for you or not interesting, but what we would do is it going to do it for here? And then I think put this one. So yeah, either click that link in the chat box and we can do that. Cool. And David's in already. David, that's great. So glad to have you. Well, there you go. That's a selling point as well. I think the important piece on that is not only are you going to get AI, you get the amazing wisdom of David Staunton and being around him. So that's a selling point. I should have doubled the price just for that, David. So just for everyone else, just to get the chance to hang out with you and get more of your wisdom. So I think as far as today goes, I think that's probably good. I don't want to launch into another demo and find we run out of time. But if you're open for this, what we'll do in the next 12-week cycle, then I'm going to chuck in a couple of things. One, I'm going to go through and refine the 12 weeks. It's going to take me a couple of weeks to refine it. I think there's so much in there. Now you've had a first pass. I don't want to go through and blast you and everyone with even more tools. I want to refine it, and actually we'll start going deeper in each week. So you can come back and do that. I'm going to take a couple of weeks to build that and get that right. So I think if it works for you all, we'll do the next official session on the 2nd of July. We'll start off the new 12-week sequence then. Those of you who want to do the AI implementation sessions, great. We'll get that going in the next week or two as well. We'll get that set up as well. But other than that, we've got another 7-8 minutes. Any questions? Anything you want to ask? Come off mute. Let me know.
Kevin, I found a fabulous prompt to do I don't know if you saw it, the study notes. Does that ring a bell? Did you see that one? It makes a thing look like you're doing the world's greatest study notes. Have you
Cool.
seen that one?
I like that. That sounds good. I haven't seen that particular AI, but that sounds interesting. That sounds good.
And then I've used that to get for the front desk staff everything to know about something. And it was a topic. You could pick whatever topic you wanted, and it draws this absolutely spectacular little thing with images and stuff like that, everything about something that you wanted to learn, and it goes back. I've just been at two big conferences in America and one in the Philippines, and it was that you are paying $100, $200, $500, $800 to get a lead, and they're being murdered by somebody at the front desk or the inquiries department and or the sales department. So please just train that person or don't let them near the phone. And if you're buying AdWords but you're not doing your nurture sequence stuff, don't bother even buying the AdWords. Is the thing, because 50% of AdWords are ghosting you at the moment. But the biggest one was just train the person on the front desk about all of the products that you're trying to sell. And this thing, I can send it to you. Since then, I've been making and really expanding on it. It's just been absolutely spectacular. It literally automatically, with one prompt, said all the different things, all the objections you're likely to have. It was, what is it? What do they buy? What else could they buy with it? What are they likely to ask? What are the best answers? It was without doubt, on a double-sided sheet, everything that you could possibly know about the products that you were selling. I got this from a salesperson in America. It was a great idea, but then I found this prompt that popped up that delivered it. So.
Great. There's requests in the chat. If you're happy to share that, David, that sounds amazing. We'd be open to see that. And if it works for you to paste it here or send it to me on email and I can distribute it to people afterwards as well, that would be really great. So generous of you, so very kind.
Well, I found it in a Facebook group somewhere, so I'll see if I can dig it out for you 1 second. Yeah, cool.
Okay, wonderful. That's good. Any other questions? Anyone else have questions, shares? Anyone want to share? What's your biggest insight or takeaway from today's call? If there's a question, unmute and ask, or maybe share what's your biggest insight or takeaway. Okay, great. Okay, Mark said it's great. It's opened his eyes to how we resolve these problems. It's been good to see what others need. Good, lots of use cases, useful for real life examples. Yeah, okay, great. That's good. And big help on the FAQs and the tender document. That's awesome. Yeah, trim down the list and action them. We have to get a list of prioritizations and we'll work through one at a time. The good thing about these tools are just going to help us produce this so much quicker. I think, 90 days of having this tool, things just change so much. And I'm going to be glad to show you how we do this without wasting time. I wasted a lot of time and had a lot of problems with this, but we're going to get this straight in for you. Yeah, great info, struggling to keep up. Hey, Brian, and I just want to make this point to everyone on this call. You don't need to be fearful that you're struggling to keep up, right? You're ahead of everyone else. The AI world is going to change. It's going to change faster and faster. Your job isn't to master it or understand everything. Your job is to pick one thing you can implement this week, one thing you can try this week, and just implement that one thing. And you're going to be ahead of everyone else. And these things compound. Like the compounding is you do one, you do the next one, they compound on top of each other. So please don't ever feel you're struggling or you're overwhelmed. You might be overwhelmed because I fire hose you just so you have a bigger awareness, but we'll hone in and get more and more specific. That's great. great to see how easy web pages can be done. And it's so easy to add to WordPress, Mark. We can either, if you've got the AI to your WordPress, it will add it there for you, or we copy the HTML. Yeah, Sonia, yes, I have time for a quick question. Feel free to unmute, fire away.
Thanks, Kevin. So just a really quick question. The BB article generator that's in Vercel app,
Yes.
it's got your logo on the top, article generator.
Yeah.
Was that under the paid version or was that created under the free version?
Here's the thing. I created a few of these tools in the hobby account for free. Now, there's two things to think about here. Actually, it's a really good question. So let me jump into Vercel because the bit is a really important distinction. I only figured this out myself recently. I just stopped my Vercel subscription, right? You see, I'm still building in it, but I stopped my subscription because what you're paying for with Vercel, if I can pull it up here, it was this one, wasn't it? Vercel.
I want to use it for myself, Kevin, but I also want to use it potentially as something my clients can use under my training program, my training business.
Great. Yeah, great. And we'll build one specifically for you with your branding. And I can take that model because I spent time building it already. We can repurpose that for you, Sonia. So I have no problems with that. We can set it up. What we'll need to do is at the moment, the BB article generator is linked to like my API. So everyone who's using that one I'm paying for it. So what we can do is if you're going to go and use it with your clients, we'll just set up a version for you, your branding, your URL there, etc., your contact details. And then the bit that we'll need to do for you is at the moment, the BB one is designed to be Basic Bananas branded, right? And it looks and sounds like Basic Bananas. So what we'll also need to do, and maybe this is a tool, I'll take the action on this. We'll build one where you can feed it so it's on brand for you in terms of the words, the articles, and the SEO. Like the Basic Bananas one is also optimized for Basic Bananas. So I think, and we can do that for all of you actually. We'll make sure that we get something that's SEO geo optimized for you, on brand for you in terms of the words, on brand for you in terms of the image and the layout. And if we can set up in the right way, we can probably then allow your clients to do the same thing. If they go for a series of questions to begin with, then the tool customizes for them. I think we do that. That sounds like a great tool. I think that might be a good recurring revenue one, Sonia. We should probably put our heads together on that and start charging your clients for that as well. Now, back to you.
I think that probably will answer a lot of the questions from today in regards to social media, content creation, all that kind of stuff. If we can set up all of these, then
okay.
Yeah.
Let's set that up because that's the fun bit about that is once you make the article and you click send it to the website, once it goes to the website, you press publish on the website, we then have another hook that creates the social media post for it as well. And then you can review the social media post. So those two go hand in hand. I'm going to do that. I think it's going to go on my project matrix. We'll see which number it lands, but we'll get it done. To answer your question on Vercel and V0, you'll see, I think I've got two in here. There's a personal one, which is free, right? And I think I use up the credits relatively quickly in that one. And then there's this one, which I've paid for. Now, you're paying for this function here. You ask for it and it builds. If you're not building right now, if you're not making anything new, you cancel your subscription, pause your subscription, right? Because then V0 is the app that builds, but then behind that, I've got Vercel where all of these projects are stored, right? So you'll notice in here, all the projects are stored here. They stay here. They're not charging me for that. That kind of sits on their server, right? It stays there, but they're only charging me to build. So I think, I don't know if I directly answer your question. If you're building directly in there, you pay for that. You pay for the interface, or if you're not, if you're just storing your projects there, they kind of sit there and store. Now, I kind of get away without having to pay them because my Claude code is linked in via API. So it does that brain and that thinking. It does it and it tells it, here's what you're going to build, and it builds it. So they're not charging me for that because I'm API'd into the back end. So I don't, it seems a bit of a get around. I'm not sure why they're not charging me for that because it still feels like I'm using their tool. But yeah, it's a workaround. Yeah. So long-winded answer. I don't know if that covered your question.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Okay. Amazing. Oh, sorry, I wasn't sharing the screen. That wasn't very useful. So I forgot I wasn't sharing. But yeah, anyway, in the two, one, you can see the type box where you tap it in. The other one is just where all your projects are. So all right, I think we are right on time. I love this. We'll do more demonstration sessions like this, and we're going to get you guys set up so you can do it yourself. Now, two thoughts on this before you run. Some people want to learn it and set up themselves. Some people just want someone to do it for them. If you're in that second category and you want it done for you, drop me a message on that front as well. I'm happy, maybe we just do something one-on-one and build things for you as well. That's fun as well. So either one of those is good. But all right, guys, I think that's been a really great session. I look forward to catching you officially back on then the 2nd of July. I'm going to be building the next 2 weeks. Any questions, drop me an email. Otherwise, been an absolute pleasure. Thank you all for your contribution today, for your insights and for the things you shared. So love you all, and I'll catch you guys soon. Oh, and before you exit, David has just pasted this phenomenal prompt in here as well. So David, extra thanks to you. You're very kind and very generous with everything you shared today. So thank you all so much, and I'll catch you guys next time.